Go on to win it 24-16. They start the season 7-2 or better for the first time since 2008. A fifth straight win versus the Texans. The Texans' ninth straight loss versus NFC teams. Giants cover the spread and the under hits. And we speak about the day for Saquon Barkley. Here he is after the game.
Saquon, Houston would not go away in this game, but it did feel like in the second half you guys grabbed control, especially offensively. What flipped in your mind?
We just got back to doing the basics and doing what we know how to do. It was the little things. And that's kind of been the theme for us, We know we're a really good team, but we just got to settle down, lock in. Obviously came off, we started off good, but you could see there was a little rust from the bye week. But at the end of the day, it's hard to win this league, and we got the W.
Career high in carries, 150-plus yards on the ground. Was this the type of game you expected from yourself in this run game?
You never know what to expect. Each week's a new week. We knew the O-line did a great job. Bobby did a great job calling it up. Cav did a great job calling it up. And we were able to make plays. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's hard to win this league, and we were able to get the win.
Best start for the Giants since 2008. As we sit here right now, what do you like about this team moving forward?
I say it every week, competitive mindset, guys that just love each other and going to go out and fight for each other every single day. When we continue to do that, I think we're going to continue to win some more games.
Appreciate the time. Congrats.
Thank you.
Saquon Barkley, a big part of what the Giants were able to do today versus the Texans. The 24-16 win and 22 fantasy points if you had him. Darius Slayton as well, a big day, 18 fantasy points for him. Daniel Jones at the quarterback position for the Giants, 21 fantasy points as the Giants continue their good start to the season. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Rick Spielman and Pete Prisco. We talk about the Giants in this win over the Texans. It was an expected win given what we've seen from Houston this season, but still, what do you take away from this for the Giants?
They're a very well coached, overachieving football team that have figured out how to win games. And it's not pretty, and they're not going to get a lot of style points, but they know how to win, and every week they come out there. As long as Barkley can keep running the ball the way he does, as long as Daniel Jones keeps playing efficient the way he is, and they're playing good defense. Wink Martindale has done a phenomenal job with that defense. It's a great feel-good story this year.
When you look at the Giants, if you win the games you're supposed to win and then maybe pull off an upset here or there, the Cowboys or the Eagles going forward, you're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be in the playoffs. The NFC is not very good. You look at the South, there's not a lot of good competition down there. Aside from the Vikings in the North, who's the competition? I think when you look at it, you're going to see the Giants in the postseason. And who thought that before the season?
It almost seems like today they needed a bit of a reminder as to what was expected from them. Daboll was yelling at them. You could see during that game there was some yelling going on there. The coach kind of reminding his team of what's expected of them, and then they started to pull away.
Well, they're a young team. So, young teams have a tendency to overlook teams they should beat a little bit. Next thing you know, you look up in your game and you look up and you lose. You look at the scoreboard and you're losing. The fact that they rallied and won this game, that's a good sign for them. They weren't behind, but they never really looked in sync at all. In fact, the touchdown to Slayton was kind of an accident.
Yeah, well, that's you talk about Daboll, and he's got to definitely be one of those candidates for Coach of the Year because they're taking a team with not a lot of star power on that. They got Barkley, they got Jones playing well. If they can continue to do this, he should be definitely considered as one of the Coach of the Year candidates.
Pete, you've been a guy who's been, a fan of Davis Mills, but what's your take on what you've seen from Mills this season? Because it hasn't been great.
No, it hasn't been great. There's been moments where he's looked good. There's been moments where he looks really bad, but there's not a lot around him either. It's not a good team right now. And so it's hard to evaluate him. I think they'll look for a quarterback after the season.
They have to go get a future quarterback, a franchise quarterback.
Where are they?
Huh?
Where are they?
In the draft coming up.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
We'll talk about them here in a couple months.
I don't think it's a great draft for quarterbacks, I'll be honest with you. It looked like it might be, but it's not.
You're wrong again, but we'll argue that on a different date.
Well, and there's a thing, too, with the Texans. There are holes to fill throughout that roster, but certainly a quarterback is one of the positions that they're going to need to address. The good thing, Dameon Pierce, the rookie, has looked good throughout the course of the season. He might be in that Rookie of the Year conversation, but obviously Houston
They have a ton of picks, too, coming up.
Team.
For all those trades they've made, they have a ton of picks, so they can retool that thing.
Certainly, fantasy impacts of those players and others up for discussion on the Fantasy Football Today podcast, and then just the main storylines overall. You're going to the Pick Six podcast. Will Brinson and the Super Friends breaking down things throughout the course of the week. You can download and follow the Pick Six podcast wherever you get your podcast audio, or just scan the QR code.